get the play in, but can you see? Connor has the puck. Made a great shot. One for a second. And that's the score. There it is. Oliver Connor gets the first score of the game. It's Burley hit the three. Leo scores. Great shot. Score! Sophie Brennan slides the back of the net from the face-off circle, and with 1:14 to go, the Raiders take a 3-2 lead.
And welcome back to an all-new Black Red Blitz. As always, I'm your host, Rebecca Karen. We'll get ready for some exciting MIAA highlights to kick off this episode, as the Raiders would make a huge impact on the Division I brackets, with boys volleyball, boys and girls lacrosse, boys and girls tennis, baseball, and girls golf, all representing Wellesley sports. And so we head to the action here first at the stadium, as girls lacrosse would face off for some first-round competition, earning the 5th seed in an extremely tough D1 South. The Raiders would have a very familiar opponent to face down on their own home turf, the Milton Wildcats. In the early minutes of this opening half, Raiders get right to work, and behind 2 goals by Maddie Balter and this score netted by Bridget Noonan, Wellesley already holds a 3-goal advantage, forcing a Wildcats timeout. Out of that break, Milton earns a free position shot. Kelly Shea's try here gets rejected by Sophie Vanderveld. On the clear out, Katie Abbott lays down the check. Vanderveld's follow through gets deflected to Kelly Shea, and Shea helps edge Wildcats closer here with this score off the turnover, down 3-1. But Raiders answer right back as Brooke Baker scoops up the ground ball and buries it past goalie Kat Buchanan. Then a fantastic steal here by Grace Ahonen in Milton's attacking end results in Cole Callahan finding the cutter Bridget Noonan to score on the other end. And so what looked like a perfect opportunity for Milton goes to Wellesley's benefit instead, a 5-1 advantage. Wildcats can't stop this aggressive offensive attack as the Raiders build their lead even further here. And this play here shows just how suffocating Wellesley's defense is, as it looks like a sure point-blank score by Katie Abbott. That is until Phoebe Lawrence, Sarah Wiltshire, Grace Ahonen, and Allie Tortorella swarm around Abbott. Nobody can seem to get a stick on the loose ball until a whistle sounds. Raiders freeze, thinking it's the ref's whistle, and back off. Julia Scannell is freed up and buries the shot. So just add loud whistling to my growing list of what grinds my gears. It's the playoffs. Stop your whistling. It's interfering with the actual game. How about we just get back to the game? Minutes later, Wellesley using this offensive scheme to perfection. 5 players in a circle, Brooke Baker waits for the cutter to break free. And as soon as Caitlin Tchaikovsky does, Milton's defense can't recover, and Tchaikovsky easily buries it here, 8-2. When Milton cuts it to 9-4 off this Devin Coulter score, just around a minute remaining to the opening half, let's just say don't expect to see 9-4 be that halftime score. As Brooke Baker quickly nets one, and then fantastic, relentless defense by Baker and Grace Ahonen, surrounding goalie Kat Buchanan behind the cage, leads to a steal and a race to an empty net, won by Grace Ahonen. Outstanding play there by the defense creates an even bigger advantage here on the offense. And the longest minute, if you're Wildcats, leads up to this beauty here, with just under 20 seconds to go. Go back out to Bridget Noonan, ahead to Maddie Balter, who's determined to net this one no matter what. And making some nice stick moves does exactly that. So, Raiders head into halftime with a 12-4 lead, fully in control of this one. Well, earning home field advantage for this first round was something Wellesley was just not going to let slip away. And so this second half would see Raiders offense just as determined and just as relentless in the next 25 minutes. Wellesley would command this divisional match right from the opening face-off, and Wildcats found out the hard way, and they never had a shot of running away with an upset. Wellesley crushes Milton by the final 17-8, as they next can turn all their focus to the D1 quarterfinals. Well, switching it up here on Wednesday, despite it being tourney week, softball would still have 1 game left to play in their schedule, with it being postponed a week before due to, no surprise, bad weather. So the Rays would look to end their season of ups and downs on a positive note with a well-deserved win. And facing a struggling Weymouth Wildcats team, what better time than now? Top first though, initially Weymouth holds the edge here, striking first. 2 on, nobody out, Renee Finnegan stares down the high heat and blasts a shot deep to center. The ball bounces all the way to the outfield fence, and both runners come across. And Renee Finnegan stands in with a 2-run triple. Emily Skochik would then ground out, but that still punches in Finnegan. And already Wellesley is faced with a 3-run deficit. Bottom of that first, though, Wellesley quickly grounds out. But being extremely patient at the plate, the next 3 batters earn walks to load them up here, still with 1 gone. Emma Goldenthal technically drives in the run right here, but I'm sure she'd prefer it by way of a hit, not getting hit. Either way, that makes it 3-1, still bases loaded, but still 1 down. An infield flyout then gets us to 2 out, but Ellie Kinney at the plate makes it count. Kinney drives this Caitlin McCarthy pitch right back up the middle to center, as Allison Goringer and Lenny Young score. So Ellie Kinney delivers a clutch 2-run single with 2 out. Just like that, we're tied up 3-3. The very next inning, Raiders look to break this tie, bottom of the second. With Shannon Schaefer's on third, 60 feet away with 1 gone, now is the opportunity. Julia Pearl batting lays down a solid squeeze bunt, giving Schaefer's just enough time to cross the plate for the go-ahead run. Lenny Young pulls the first pitch she sees to deep left. The ball gets past the left fielder and all the way to the fence. And Young gets to second, that miscue. Allison Goringer has been playing with a hot bat lately. Doesn't miss here either, crushing it deep to left for the ground rule double. Another ribby, and Wellesley's edge is now 5-3. So we jump ahead to the 4th. 6-3 now, and another Raiders rally is ready to begin here. Emma Keefe now stands on the mound for the Wildcats, inheriting a 1-out, bases loaded kind of jam. Keefe quickly walks in a run to make it a 7-3 Wellesley lead. 2 more runs then come across here as this Raiders lineup consistently capitalized on each Wildcats' mistakes. And this 9-3 advantage here shows the effort this Raiders team made, with 9 Wellesley runs scored unanswered. Weymouth would strike back in the top of the 5th as they get the first of their 2 runs in this inning, off of Renee Finnegan hit to left, as Finnegan smacks one in with an RBI triple. But coming out of that 5th, Wildcats remain down here 9-5. So still up by 4, Wellesley really puts this game away here in the bottom 6th. Mackenzie O'Neill bloops it to shallow center to paint Raiders on the corners, nobody out. Kaylee Mitchell then makes solid contact, drops it into left. The cutoff throw is there, but not before 2 more runs come across. Mitchell with the 2-run single helped put Wellesley in double digits here, leading 11-5. Then up by 8, this 6 continues to be big. Taking advantage of this throwing error to home, Lenny Young is able to score Wellesley's 14th run of this game. Then a walk to Mackenzie O'Neill brings another one across. And now up by 10 runs on the mercy rule, the game can officially be called here in the 6th. The offense definitely came to play here in this one, as Raiders would end their regular season on a 2-game winning streak. Definitely something they can use for momentum in the next season to come. And for Wellesley's 4 seniors, Kaylee Mitchell, Emma Goldenthal, Lenny Young, and Julia Pearl, they can end their high school career with this feel-good divisional victory. The final here, Raiders 15, Wildcats 5. So we are right back to tourney action the very next day as we focus in on boys volleyball. Now this team would earn a first-round bye and then open up the D1 South quarterfinals here at home against the Taunton Tigers. But before we head to the highlights, it would be the perfect time to reflect on what this talented team has done to get where they are right now. And 10 seniors, 3 of them captains, ready to lead since game 1, and more importantly, back that up with action, this team would not only earn the number 4 seed in a competitive D1 bracket, but matching that talent against huge volleyball programs like Framingham, Natick, and knocking off unbeaten Wayland in the process, you can't help but be impressed with this 14-3 season. So on Thursday, despite being the higher seed, Wellesley wouldn't have an easy task on hand, as Taunton has had their own accomplishments to be proud of and fought hard for the 5th seed. Opening set, Raiders jump out to a quick 5-point lead, thanks to some quality kills and a great play here by Dylan Horgan. Switching it up with a left-handed spike instead, the Tigers can't counter back. 6 unanswered by Wellesley to open up this match, and just like that, Taunton has to take a timeout already. Coming out of that break, you couldn't ask for better timing than right here. Dylan Horkin again, anticipating the dig here by Lance Law, bringing down the kill and point, up 7-0. But somewhere in that Raiders momentum, the Tigers start to slowly take it back. As this spike by co-captain Lance Law goes point, Taunton. And I don't know if I ever want to get stuck in between this Lance Law spike, as Law hits it with authority, and Tigers are starting to step up here. The 5-2 run makes it a 10-6 deficit. But heading deeper into this first set, Wellesley retakes the offensive tempo back, extending their lead even further. And finish it with a solid dig, set, and spike as Ben Burns makes it 17-8. But once Dylan Horkin's block here makes it 19-9 Raiders, 6 points away from taking the first set for the lead, well, things start to get interesting here. Raiders still with an 8-point advantage, but Tigers take back possession on this serve with a nasty kill by, no surprise, Lance Law, who seems to be everywhere on the court. And it's 22-15 Wellesley. Add on a few more Taunton points along with this loud Malik and Charles kill, the Tigers are in this game down by 5, 23-18. And now it's Wellesley this time who has to take a timeout. Not helping at all, it's 2 more immediately go to Tigers after that timeout as well. So now it's 23-20 Raiders. Now holding on to a 24-22 edge a minute later, Griffin Walker is finally able to bring this one home on a fantastic kill. And Wellesley finally is able to take the first set here, 25-22. But it wasn't easy. Carrying that momentum into the second as well, though, Raiders take advantage and win that as well, 25-17. And hoping for only one more match to go, Raiders open up this third, taking the points right out from under Taunton, giving them barely seconds to react. Like on this kill, Dylan Horkin again anticipating it from the very start. Griffin Walker as well, laying down the commanding spikes, helping Wellesley build an early advantage. But as Tigers claw their way back in, yes, I went there, Nate Grant gets the serve off on target. Raiders set, Lenz Esquel is ready to block out, but doesn't have to. His Raiders counter back is short and hits the net. Point goes to Tigers, and it's tied 8-8. Off consecutive Chris Nowak serves, Raiders start to find separation here, heightened by another Dylan Horkin block that drops in here. And it's now a 13-10 Wellesley edge. Raiders have that offensive spark now and aren't letting go of it again, as Dylan Horkin sets and Evan Egger delivers the pounding kill. Taunton calls another timeout here as Wellesley extends it to a 17-12 lead. Coming out of that break, Raiders once again finesse the dig, set, spike routine, gaining the points here when they matter the most. Down by 7, Taunton tries to make one last attempt to save their season. Coming out of another timeout, get that much-needed point in possession as Dawid Fuseki finds air and then some. And it's a 22-16 deficit late in this third. But the next 3 points are controlled by Wellesley. The last 2 crushed by Griffin Walker as this one here resounds the most, as that would be the 25th point to win this match. And that is game. Raiders faced down multiple challenges thrown their way by this Taunton squad. But in the end, the Raiders as a team never stopped playing relentless, and Taunton could not overcome that. Well, there would be so many proud moments and victories for this Wellesley team. And despite seeing their season come to an end in the semifinals, 15 athletes in all played with a ton of heart, determination, and a team chemistry that was hard to beat. And that is something these Raiders can be proud of. Well, D1 South action would continue here as boys lacrosse would earn a first-round match here at home. And facing a talented team in Mansfield, you knew this one was going to be a highly competitive battle. As year after year, both squads bring together 2 solid lacrosse programs, and now face off to see who advances to the quarterfinals. Raiders have punched in their tourney ticket 15 years strong. But it's the playoffs. Records are out the door. It's 0-0 now. And so it's no surprise these 12 opening minutes to this game give Wellesley only a 1-goal edge, as Michael Bohms and Hunter Ferreira both lead their squads with 2 scores apiece. Raiders' offensive tempo changes though, and that spark is lit barely seconds into this second, thanks to Grant Kasikis, whose laser shot here makes it 4-2 Wellesley. Hornets think they've cut it to a 1-goal edge on this play, as I don't think you can have the ball land any closer to the goal line. So close. Hornets think it's a score, but refs rule it's no goal, as Teddy Darcy did a great job of stopping the ball before it crossed. Hornets do get that goal back mere minutes later, after Teddy Darcy makes a fantastic save off this Hunter Ferreira laser shot. Darcy then circles around the cage. Ready to clear it outside the crease, Darcy's centering pass gets intercepted by Ferreira instead, and a wide open empty net is just sitting there. Number 3 doesn't miss. So off that tough turnover, Mansfield is down 4-3, with all goals so far scored by Ferreira. But like he's done what seems like 100 times before, Captain Grant Kasikis wins the draw, fights off defensive pressure running upfield, and buries yet another clutch score for Wellesley. Minutes later, Nick Marvin's pass is loose, Brendan Conroy scoops it up, spins, and fires it into the cage, push it back up to 6-3 Raiders in this second. Brendan Conroy then goes back-to-back here when it counts the most. Making a great deke that leaves him wide open for the shot, Brendan Conroy cranks it past Jack Monroe. Closing out this first half on a 4-0 run, sparked by a Brendan Conroy hattie that he nets in just minutes, and Raiders find themselves in control here, holding an 8-3 halftime lead. Giving themselves an even better edge, up by 7 goals with 2 more coming Wellesley's way to pace this third quarter, Hornets try to stop the advantage. Under 10 seconds to go in the third, Hornets get the restart from the X. Brett Kessler dishes it to Seiko, and it's so close, as Aiden Seiko's shot does find net, but did it beat out the whistle? Adding more frustration to this Hornets team is the goals waved off. No good. And that's another score in Mansfield's mind that should have gone their way. Either way, that missed call, or whatever you want to call it, to end that third is what lights a spark, more like a fed-up spark, in this Hornets offense. So this fourth and final frame kicks off with a quick score by Michael Reed that makes it 10-4. And so with just under 11 minutes to go to Mansfield's season here, we'll get ready for the Hunter Ferreira show, as Ferreira unloads another shot here for his 4th goal of the game, for now, cutting the deficit to 10-5. With Mansfield continuing to play with a chip on their shoulders, the deficit keeps getting smaller here as the minutes uneasily tick away even slower. The determination in Hunter Ferreira netting his 5th goal right here is contagious to this Hornets offense, as Raiders have been held in check as they see their once solid 10-3 lead become only 3 right now. And with plenty of time left, Raiders take a much-needed timeout to regroup. Back in on the action, though, on Hunter Ferreira's 6th score. Is that a double hattie? That makes it 5 goals unanswered by Mansfield in this nail-biter 4th. 10-8 Raiders. There's on fire, and then there's Hunter Ferreira on fire, as this is his 7th goal of the game, cutting it to 10-9. And Ferreira has been downright nasty. And then it's time for the refs to throw another wrench in this tourney battle. Hornets on the fast break here have numbers downfield until the whistle blows. Timeout Mansfield, play is stopped. Except Mansfield didn't call a timeout. So the refs realize their mistake, yell, "Sorry, no timeout," and get back to playing. Well, I hate to say it, but you kinda wrecked Hornets' momentum here. Putting aside this happening to any opponent, you just don't want this happening, period. And just to throw in one more stress-inducing play, last chance here, Hunter Ferreira's try gets rejected. The ball is still loose, but Teddy Darcy smothers it with his stick and is not giving up the putback. What a game, as now the Raiders and all their fans can breathe now, as that was a close one. Raiders controlled this game for the first 3 quarters, but Mansfield found a way to fight back and make things extremely tense in these final 12 minutes. But in the end, Wellesley thankfully holds on, and that's all that's important. Despite a game-high 7 goals by Hunter Ferreira, Hornets' comeback bid just, and I mean just, falls short. Wellesley holds on to take an exciting first-round victory here, winning this by the final 10-9 as they head to the quarterfinals to face Duxbury on the road. Easily taking care of Milton in the first round just days earlier, girls lacrosse would hit the road to Braintree, who got the 4th seed instead of them, to battle it out in the D1 South quarterfinals. This time, though, it would be in the cold, windy rain. You know, typical June weather. Well, pushing aside the weather, what is expected in these two solid Bay State Conference teams in the playoffs? Well, it's not going to be a blowout by any means. This is going to be a divisional battle to the last whistle. Wellesley already holding a 1-0 edge in these opening minutes. Just a great play here by junior captain Kaylin Tchaikovsky. Scooping up the ground ball, regaining Raider possession, Tchaikovsky then dishes it to Brooke Baker. Perfects an even better finish, intertwining between multiple defenders, then buries it. Wellesley 2-0 advantage. Raiders continue to make these passes here on point, as Brooke Baker finds the cutter Maddie Balter open, and Balter nets it past goalie Emma Duffy. That gives Raiders a quick 3-0 lead here that forces Braintree already to call an early timeout. Whatever new strategy or play Womps draw up, though, seems to work seconds later, as Deirdre Burchill passes up the free shot and finds Grace Reinhold for the score. Braintree cuts into the deficit, down 3-1. Another free position chance would be netted here as well, leaving just one goal separating these two sides before Deirdre Burchill fakes high, buries it low for the equalizer. And we're tied up 3-3 just like that. Womps so far have scored only by way of the free position, as they add another here after Caitlin Yaxter goes top shelf for Braintree's first lead of the game. Mei Sheehan, though, waits patiently and sees Maddie Balter cut free. Balter takes that dish, makes some great stick moves, and finds all net to tie it right back up 4-4. Minutes later, still tied, but 5-5. Late in this first half, Raiders take some key momentum with them after solid defense by Nicole Beckett gets Gail Bennett the chance to scoop up the loose ball, dish it to Maddie Balter, and the sophomore, determined to score, does just that. And so in this back-and-forth opening half, Raiders win these first 25 minutes, taking a 6-5 advantage into halftime. Wellesley opens up the second half knowing this is going to be a tight one to the end. And with two fantastic free position scores by Kaylin Tchaikovsky and Brooke Baker, Raiders hold a quick 2-goal advantage. But again, Braintree climbs their way back into it, tying it at 8 even. Off this Nicole Norton score, Raiders have their work cut out for them again. But a solid play here by Kaylin Tchaikovsky starts first with an awesome stutter step around Haley Morrissey. Then, determination around this Womps defense to bury the shot, and finds that ball deep into the cage. Raiders back up with a 1-goal edge. But this game will be going down to the wire, that's for sure. Seconds later, Womps find the tying answer yet again on this Caitlin Yaxter score. But Maddie Balter steps up big here, sandwiched in between Deirdre Burchill and Alyssa Tenaglia, and still finds the back of the net. 10-9 Wellesley with 8:35 to go in regulation. Grace Ahonen then fights inside for position and sinks it past Emma Duffy the deeper we go. And with these two back-to-back scores giving Raiders an 11-9 edge, it's key, because just as quickly, Grace Reinhold picks up the ground ball, fights off the Raiders defense, and somehow finds all net to cut it back to 1. Faking the give and go to Gail Bennett, Maddie Balter keeps it herself, makes her move, and saving the best for last, fights through 4 Womps and buries the dagger right here. That score is just clutch. The 12-10 lead late in this second half. So it would be a hard-fought contest on both sides, really. But as the Raiders team motto of "want it more" is yelled in the game day huddle every time, Raiders simply wanted it more, as they outlasted the Womps here, taking away their home field advantage as well. It wasn't easy, but Wellesley is moving on to the sectional semifinals to face their nemesis Needham, but for now can enjoy a 12-10 quarterfinal victory over Braintree. Well, that's it for now for this episode, but we still have plenty to highlight in this MIAA tourney, including the start to baseball's incredible run. So check back next week for an all-new playoff edition of Black Red Blitz. In the meantime, check us out on demand at wellesleymedia.org, our YouTube and Facebook pages at Wellesley Public Media, and of course, right here on Comcast 9 and Verizon 39. Thanks for watching Black Red Blitz. Go Raiders!
He's got some room to run. This man, in for a touchdown!